a deep understanding of the majestic process of the universe's creation and its inevitable, fated end, as presented in rich and complex Norse cosmology, overwhelmingly relies on an ancient and mysterious poetic work. This prophetic poem, known as Voluspa, the prophecy of the seeress, serves as a cornerstone for anyone seeking to grasp the origins of the worlds, their evolution, and their impending demise. It is within its verses that the keys to understanding the grand drama of existence are hidden, from the first sparks of life to the apocalyptic finale, inspiring awe and anticipation for the revelation of all its secrets. The poem itself represents the revelations of a resurrected seeress, awakened from non-existence by the god Odin. The All-Father approached her with a series of crucial questions concerning both the origins and the coming end of the world. The seeress acts as the central narrator in this tale, capable of encompassing in her vision both the act of creation and the inevitable approach of Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. Voluspa opens with the narration of the creation of Yggdrasil, the great ash tree that serves as the dwelling place for the 9 worlds where all beings reside. This colossal tree represents the mythical landscape of the Norse cosmos, with various worlds spread along its mighty roots and sprawling branches. Midgard, the world of humans, is situated at the heart of Yggdrasil, encircled by an impregnable stone barrier formed from the eyelashes of the first giant. Additionally, the sun and moon came into being, and the very concept of time was established. The first humans, named Ask and Embla, were given life by Odin and his brothers Vili and Vi. The gods stumbled upon 2 lifeless logs while walking along the coastal sands. Ask, the first man, came into being from an ash tree trunk, and Embla, the first woman, from an elm log. At their creation, Ask and Embla lacked any human attributes. They had no breath, soul, hair, or voice, remaining utterly formless and lifeless. Then, Odin breathed life into them. Vili endowed them with a soul, and Vi granted them hair and a human appearance. Within the pages of the poem, the Norns are first mentioned, powerful beings residing at the roots of Yggdrasil who inexorably determine the fate of every mortal. These legendary weavers of destiny shape fate, setting the duration of each human child's earthly journey. As the narrative of Voluspa progresses around stanza 27, we are taken to a pivotal moment where the seeress addresses the All-Father, asking if he has heard enough prophecies from her. She then begins to recount the first portents of Ragnarok, starting her account with the tragic death of Odin's son, Balder. Loki, the cunning god behind Balder's demise, is imprisoned in a dark cave and bound there with the entrails of his own slain son. Above his head, a giant serpent continuously hangs, its corrosive venom steadily dripping onto his forehead. His wife, Sigyn, tirelessly remains by his side, diligently collecting every drop of venom in a bowl. The signs of Ragnarok steadily multiply, and the arrival of the great winter, known as Fimbulwinter, serves as the official harbinger of the end times. 3 harsh winters follow one after another, uninterrupted by warm summers. During this period, humanity plunges into fratricidal wars, the bonds of friendship are severed, and adultery becomes commonplace. In Asgard, the god Heimdall proclaims the coming disaster, blowing his mighty Gjallarhorn to warn the Aesir of the approaching army of giants. Thus, Ragnarok enters its decisive phase. Odin, in search of ultimate wisdom, consults the severed head of the wisest being, Mimir. Loki's monstrous offspring, the wolf Fenrir, breaks free from the chains that once held him captive, and the fire giant Surtur begins his fiery march on Asgard, wielding his blazing sword. At this moment, a series of epic duels unfolds, where the gods engage in mortal combat with their sworn adversaries. The All-Father Odin clashes with Fenrir, while the fertility god Freyr charges at the fire giant Surtur. The mighty Odin meets his demise at the paws of Fenrir, but his son Vidar immediately avenges his parents' death, piercing the monstrous wolf's heart with his sword. The powerful Thor triumphs over Jormungandr, but in the heat of battle, he is struck by its deadly venom. After taking only 9 steps away from his vanquished foe, Thor collapses lifelessly to the ground. Profound darkness envelopes all creation, and Midgard, the world of humans, is consumed by raging ocean waters. Yggdrasil itself, the world ash tree, is engulfed in flames, and the entire universe turns to ruins. However, after this total destruction, the world enters an era of new rebirth. The surviving gods gather again at their ancient meeting place, Iavor, and the first sprouts of new life push through the ashes. Balder, the shining god, returns from the realm of the dead, and the seeress beholds a majestic dragon soaring over the newly revived valley. After this vision, she vanishes, marking the conclusion of Voluspa and the end of her prophecies. It should be noted that the poem Voluspa is part of the Poetic Edda, a distinguished collection of Old Norse poems that recounts the deeds of the Norse gods and the exploits of their great human heroes.